fine, despite the fact that he had been in contact with multiple people who have tested positive for the virus. Now, the AP saying tonight that according to two people close to the White House, the president had been reluctant to take the test for fear it would project weakness or worry.
I had my temperature taken coming into the room.
The president wasn't the only one getting screened this morning. Members of the media did too, right before the news conference with President Trump. A White House aide put a thermometer to the head of each reporter. One reporter was escorted out for a high temperature. Kate Miller, the press secretary for Vice President Mike Pence, tweeted, according to the White House medical unit, the temperature was taken 3 times over a 15-minute period. All 3 registered above the CDC Gov 100.4 guidelines. On Friday night, President Trump was tested for the virus. By Saturday evening, the results were in. Mr. Trump testing negative, but the president's health has been in question for days now after he had direct and indirect exposure with people who have since tested positive for COVID-19, including 2 Brazilian leaders who spent time with him at Mar-a-Lago last weekend. During Saturday's news conference, the president was asked why he continues to shake hands.
People come up to me, they shake hands, they put their hand out. It's sort of a natural reflex, and we're all getting out of it. All of us have that problem.
As of this morning, more than 2,100 patients have contracted the virus in the U.S., and at least 50 have died. President Trump now considering a domestic travel ban in certain areas of the country. This as he expands the European travel ban to now include the UK and Ireland starting at midnight on Monday. Meanwhile, the family's first coronavirus Response Act passed the House last night and will head to the Senate next week.
It'll provide paid sick and family medical leave for coronavirus-related employment interruptions.
Now back to the testing. Vice President Mike Pence says he will be talking to the White House physician to see if he and his wife should be tested. Meanwhile, the White House has announced that it will now be conducting temperature checks on anyone who's in close contact with the president and the VP, including reporters who attend White House briefings and anyone who enters the Oval Office. Dan?
We know one of those reporters was actually turned away today because they had a